This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. We are social creatures. We crave connection and relationships. And it can be a challenge navigating those relationships. And there are times where you might have a realization in your life that maybe the relationships in your life don't really fit or need to change. How do you make that change? Where do you find the strength and courage to do that? We're going to start there today. She's got so much insight every time we get together with her. She is the woman behind a wonderful ministry that provides a lot of insight in many different ways. And it's so great to have her back here. Our professional of the year, Forshia Ross, is on the program. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. We're just waiting for warmer weather up here in New England. But
I'm right there with you. I'm just underneath you there, across the Sound in Long Island, New York, and I'm feeling you the 5 degrees wind chill minus 18 last weekend.
I know. We had another snow, was it last night? But a few inches, but we've had like 20 something inches altogether.
You know, they said it was going to be a more active winter in these parts where we are. I guess they were right this time. Yeah. So
okay.
Talking relationships, where we last got together, you were telling a story, and that's kind of kicked off talking about this today in navigating relationships. Yeah. You started talking about a person that you weren't very fond of back in the day.
Nice.
and how you navigated through that and maybe moved that aside. Yeah. So before we even go further, can we reset that? This person, who were they and who were they in your life? And yeah.
It was early in I would say my new Christian walk. And so, in reading the Bible, I wanted to please God. I saw how we needed to love everybody. And so I was trying really hard. But there was this woman in our Bible study that I didn't like. And I was struggling with those feelings because I thought, well, I should like her. I should love her unconditionally. And it was like I would try to sit somewhere else in the group. And lo and behold, she might come in a little later, and there was the chair next to me. And guess where she sat? Right next to me. And you know what? It didn't go away. It was like I would try to get away from her, and she was always in my face. And it wasn't that she was doing anything wrong necessarily that I remember. But anyway, on our last podcast, we were talking about honesty. And so here I was trying to change my feelings about her, and I couldn't. And finally, I just went before the Lord, and I just shared how I felt. And I was kind of scared to do that because I felt I would be disappointing God. And God's God. He's perfect, right? But you know what? I was so miserable that I just said, I hate her. I said that on the last podcast. I hate her, I hate her, I hate her. I said, and I sensed, I've never heard God's voice audibly, but I just sensed in my heart that he said, and I say sensed, well, now I can work with this. So honesty is a big thing. Once we're honest with ourselves, and then with God, who can help us with those feelings. But I left it there because we had to end the program.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened is we became best friends.
Isn't that something there?
We actually became best friends, and we went shopping together. We did all kind of things together. That doesn't always happen. So that's where, I wanted to share, how do you handle a relationship where you're struggling with those feelings, but you can't get away from them, that person. Maybe you have to work with them.
How do you do that? And you just said it, being real, being authentic to others, but also honoring thyself with being honest with yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how do you navigate that one there?
Yeah. I have found that often, if you're presented with let's say a person that rubs you the wrong way, and this isn't anything new, but sometimes they rub us the wrong way because they might be a lot like us.
Ooh, okay, let's stop right there. I gotcha.
I hit something, didn't I?
Well, it's been said before that, and this was in a men's group that I'm in last year.
Okay.
We were tasked with, and we support each other, community service leadership. We were tasked with, each one of us, and there was 8 in the room, going around the room, and each one of us had to look at everybody else. What don't you like about them?
Ooh.
Little uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
what rubs you the wrong way? And then when it was all done, it was revealed that, oh, well, that's probably something that you don't like in yourself.
Yeah.
So you call out the other person. And that's why it even comes up.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough one to swallow there in itself.
It is. And you know what? I think, or at least I don't think that I have learned over the years, the more and more we get to know ourselves and accept ourselves,
Yep.
the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we'll never be perfect. There's only one person that's perfect. That's God. But we can get better and better, of course. And so what it seems to be all about is how we react. The more I've found, the more and more I accept myself and my shortcomings and my weaknesses, I have more grace for other people.
Yes. And isn't it a beautiful thing once you figure you out and get
Which
to the
takes
point,
a lifetime, right?
get to the point. Yes, it
Yeah.
does. The point where you can say, look in the mirror and say, I love you
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Then
You've
you can't.
seen that where you point one finger at somebody. Have you
Yeah.
seen? But there's 3 pointing back at you, kind
Yep.
of thing. But there are relationships that are dangerous, or and we won't go into abusive situations,
Yes.
that's kind of a given, but maybe dangerous is too strong a word in this case, but those
Well,
that
what we
tend
want to call it toxic relationships that might be toxic.
yes. But I was watching a movie, and in the movie, she said something I said, that's good. And she said she was breaking off her relationship with, I think she was leaving her husband. I don't remember exactly, but she said, I'm tired of feeling bad about myself. You make me feel bad about myself. And so that's a big key there. Was it Oprah Winfrey that said, the bottom line is, how does that person make you feel? Do you go away feeling bad about yourself? Now, I'm not side stepping the fact that we all need to learn from each other, and glean, like in your group, glean some things that maybe I need to improve. But again, it's always how you do it, right, Steve? It's always how you do it.
But isn't it, when somebody, you make me feel this way, you do this, you do that. You are allowing them to do that.
Yes, you're right.
You gave them the control.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You could just walk away and say, I don't care what they think.
Right.
That's
right.
But
Yeah.
I believe in order to do that, you need to get to that point where you accept yourself, you love yourself. Do you remember the point in your life, and you revealed earlier in your life that you went through a lot of challenge, adversity, moments where you weren't fond of yourself, if I remember
Right.
correctly. Do you remember that?
Relationships. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Yeah.
remember that moment where you were finally good with yourself?
Mhm.
You remember it?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, it wasn't like one
Sure,
particular
but the
day,
beginning,
but
the
you know what
beginning
I
of
mean?
that,
The beginning of that
yeah.
would actually be in my present relationship with my husband. And he, as I've shared before, he was my third marriage, and I went into that relationship with bottom line, didn't realize it, but I didn't like myself. So I put that on him. You see, when you don't like yourself, you're either very critical or you're trying to get someone else to always prop you up. Does
Mm,
that make sense? To prop you up,
yep.
you're always looking for that fix in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I remember one day because it was an exercise in our Bible study, and I thought, oh, gee, I don't know if I'll ever do this again. But it was similar to what we were asked to do, that we were supposed to go home because we were talking about marriage, I think, and we're supposed to go home and ask our husbands everything they didn't like about us or that we needed to change.
Mm, mm. Ouch.
Oh my gosh. I'm thinking by the end of it, is there anything you like about me? But you know what? It triggered a lot of emotions because, and what was exciting to me as I went down the line and I thought, no, some of those things are okay. That's on him. That's
Hmm.
on him. And what I began to learn was that do you know it's okay if someone doesn't like you? That's a big revelation.
Again, that's on them.
It really
And
is.
that's not easy for me to say. It took me
Yeah,
many, many, many decades to realize that. And
yeah,
that's the number one thing. If
yeah,
could go back to my childhood
yeah,
and or speak to my much younger self,
yeah,
that would be the first thing I'd say.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry about what people
yeah,
think about you.
yeah, yeah. The question, but I'm thinking back to those early years when
Yeah.
I was starting to uh, uh, speak at conferences and all. I'm part of a Glow International, and I'm the state prayer coordinator for Rhode Island. But I was on a board, and oh, I probably have said too much. But anyway, anyway, everybody thought because I'm a Southerner woman and I'm I'm soft. It's my personality. I'm tend to be more gentle. I'm not necessarily confrontational, and I didn't realize it, Steve, and those that are listening, that I thought I was pretty hot stuff. I thought, well, everybody loves me.
Mm.
Everybody loves me. And even someone in the organization, I'll just say that everybody was having a problem with. Okay, everybody. But hey, she liked me, and I knew it. She liked me. I was all right until one day I said something. Either I didn't mean it or it didn't come across correctly.
Mm.
And from then on, I was on her hit list, so to speak. But you know what that I learned from that? That was a big thing. Of course, I learned it with my husband, but this was out in, ministry and in leadership and what I learned was that not everybody is going to like you, and it's okay. If everybody likes you 100% of the time, forever and ever, you must not be doing something Right. That's what I figure.
Yeah. And I mean, and if that's the case, you're working overtime trying to please people, throwing
Right.
them money and tickets and whatever it is. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's great.
Or
She's great.
you never speak your mind. You
You're
never disagree.
you're
And
not
there is
you.
a way, I mean, there's a way to disagree and not be mean about it. But yeah, but there are relationships that if they are continuing not to I'd say lift you up or that you feel safe. Safe is a good word.
Hmm.
A safe relationship. I have some friends that they're few, these kind of friends where I can go and say, you know what? Am I doing this? They'll be honest with me, but I feel safe. They're not doing it to put me down or make me feel bad. So sometimes you have to, the hardest thing is relationships in family. I mean, some family members you can't get away from, but look at it this way. How can I respond in a mature way without getting all, turned inside out and losing sleep for days? Sometimes people just need a little bit more love.
Hmm.
That's all. Sometimes it's simple, or
What?
sometimes you just need to not talk so much.
Well,
Just listen.
just listen.
Just
Yeah.
listen.
I remember not that long ago, and situation changed.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody who I've known since I was 17. And I was talking with her a little bit. She kind of was, at my sage. We don't talk as much, that much anymore, but we're still connected. And I never forget when she said, those people in your life, they don't serve you anymore.
Mhm.
And I heard that and I'm like, oh, that sounds dirty. Like, oh, like I'm the king of the hill. You be gone
Yeah.
and you
Kiss my feet. Yeah.
right off with your head. Whatever it is. It
Yeah.
sounded dirty, but it was real.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that was the beginning of me realizing that
Mm.
life changes, life moves
Yes.
forward, and
Yes.
people truly are in your life for a season or a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
No, it's a cliche, but
Just if we have time, I can share something else. It just happened recently.
please share.
I, I was sharing like a new project that I feel that I'm going to be doing. And so I'm all excited about it. And I'm sharing and sharing. And all of a sudden, they began to tell me the way I was going to do it was all wrong. And it wasn't, they weren't mean about it or anything like that, but something bothered me about it. You know how you feel like, okay, something's not right about this. I get off the phone and I said, oh my, we have to be careful of sharing too much of our dreams or let's say a project we're going to do, because bottom line, we're the ones that really know what our dream is about. And no one else can really direct, they can help, but to direct you and how that's to be accomplished. And it was just kind of a surprise. And I thought, well, I just have to be careful about sharing so many details. And yet, this person is a wonderful friend in my life. You know, there was a time
So,
when I feel bad about feeling like that.
well, do you feel also, and this like flashed last weekend in my mind,
Okay.
that, and I forget who said it, but a prominent individual. Don't share your accomplishments. Don't, throw those things out there, even on social now.
Yeah.
People are just going to judge you and get jealous. And you know what? They don't need to know anyway. It's you. As long as you're good with you.
Right.
And I want to, I kind of, in the last number of years, kind of pilot by that. It's,
Yeah,
I don't need the approval of, look at me, look what I did. Look,
yeah,
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 people
yeah,
go on
yeah,
vacation and they post
yeah,
pictures, and that's great, if
yeah,
that supports you.
yeah.
I used to put that stuff up there, but I would only do it in social where there was a reason for it. Like, hey, check
Mm,
this place out. Look what they have on the menu. I never thought they'd serve
yeah,
that. Things like that.
yeah,
I don't even do that anymore.
yeah,
It's like I just
yeah,
kind of run
yeah,
silent
yeah.
because I kind of just
It's not necessary.
not necessary.
It's really not necessary. I'm telling you, navigating relationships. You see, there was a time, and I don't know if you experienced this, Steve, but there was a time where I didn't know how to maintain a relationship if they weren't perfect towards me. I would think, okay, they don't like me or they shouldn't have said this. And then I started distancing myself from them. And that's not good either. So uh, there's a place where we need to come where there are dear friends in our lives that we want to keep, and they're not perfect, just like we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to give them space and grace. Oh, that's good. Make
Hmm.
a little plaque on that one.
It
Give,
really is good because it's often said too, you need to make space for someone. You need to make space for yourself.
yeah,
And that could be
yes.
somebody that doesn't serve you or support your life now. You need to move them to the side, almost like a chess game, so
Yeah.
that someone who does, you made space for the right person to come into your life.
Now, let me give you a practical way to do that. If you're sensing you need to begin to, let's say, distance yourself. I don't like that word, but yeah. Um, One way to do that in a gracious way is just don't call as much.
Hmm.
Begin to just less. Um, you don't want to just cut someone off.
Right.
That's not good.
Unless it's
Well,
toxic and
yeah, or
yeah,
dangerous, of
right,
course.
right.
And even that can be, I had to do that with someone. Not, well, all they did was complain about their husbands. Awful, awful, awful. This was years ago. I mean, all the time. So it's almost like I dreaded when I talked to them. And yeah, their husbands was not great. And I would say, well, I would make suggestions. Well, what do you want to do about it and all? They didn't really want to hear any solutions. They just wanted to complain. And I was the dumping ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day I said very nicely, I said, I can't hear anything more negative about your husband, you know. And that was not good. It wasn't. And do you know, the next time I talked to them, they were determined that I would hear. And I kept saying I can, and gradually I had to separate. Yeah, it
Well,
was.
you were
Yeah,
authentic, you were
yeah,
honest, and
yeah,
if that doesn't align with them,
yeah.
wasn't meant to be. And I want to share this
Okay,
phrase that I heard recently that I'm going to use a lot more often.
what
And
is
in these situations, you talk with somebody, could be a text too. I know you'll understand. I know you'll understand.
Yeah, that
You end
is
it with that. I know you'll understand.
it
So
puts that on them, doesn't it?
it does. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's saying to them that you're a bigger person too. You can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I felt power in that. Like,
yeah,
and it's not this phrase is like, I think one of the worst ones you could
yeah,
use. I'm sorry you feel that way.
yeah, yeah,
It's just like, it's
yeah.
like,
And the woman that I had to separate from, the real reason they were continually lambasting their husband too, is they did want sympathy, but all the time, but not do anything about it. So that's really
Yeah, and it just brought back a memory too. I've heard this where, okay, you want to dump about this person or whatever.
Yeah,
5 minutes. We're going to take 5 minutes here and
heard that too.
let it
Yeah,
go. And then after that, so you're giving them, they just want to be heard. So you're giving them the
that's true.
opportunity, the door swings open, and you move on.
That's good.
You're a speaker, an author, pastor. You have this wonderful ministry that the website's fantastic. There's so much insight there.
Thank you so much.
You get a warm and fuzzy when you go there. ForshiaRoss.org. That's FORSHIA Ross, ROSS.org. Thank you for being here. And I'm just a conduit. Things pop in my head. I just say them.
I love it.
And what just came up for me next time, I think that I would like maybe a quick prayer about whatever we talk about next time we get together. We're out of time today, but yeah, just a quick thing, maybe at the end.
I will remember that. I'll remember that one.
I know you will. I don't know why, but something says I needed to say that, and was like, yeah, that would be fitting.
And you're a great interviewer, by the way. You're really gifted.
Thank you. I'm curious, and again, I just whatever comes up in my head.
You know what questions to ask.
I'm not asking them. Somebody else is. Leave it at that.
That's true.
All right.
All right.
Be well. We'll talk soon.
God
Okay.
bless you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.